One of the things I hear all the time is, I can fall asleep, but I just can't stay asleep. Or I wake up feeling like I barely rested at all. And I get it. There's a big difference between just sleeping and getting deep, restorative sleep. The kind where you wake up and actually feel like your brain is clear, your body feels light, and you're ready to take on the day. That kind of sleep isn't just luck. It's the result of setting yourself up the right way. And the good news is, you don't have to spend a fortune or take medication to get there. There are simple, natural tips that can help you go from tossing and turning to sleeping deeply through the night. And today, I want to walk you through 10 of them. Some you might have heard before, but I'll tell you exactly how to make them work. Others might surprise you, but they're backed by real experience and in many cases, science. My hope is that by the time we're done, you'll have a little toolbox you can pull from every night so you can finally have the kind of sleep that leaves you feeling refreshed instead of drained. The first tip is to set a consistent sleep schedule. I know, it's not the most exciting advice, but trust me, your body loves routine. Going to bed and waking up around the same time every day trains your internal clock, so you naturally start feeling sleepy at the right time and alert in the morning. It's like teaching your body when to expect rest, and once it learns, falling into deep sleep becomes much easier. Even on weekends, try to keep the difference within an hour. Your Monday mornings will thank you. Tip number 2 is to create a relaxing bedtime routine. Think of it as the bridge between your busy day and your restful night. An hour before bed, start winding down. This could mean dimming the lights, sipping herbal tea, reading something light, or taking a warm shower. The point is to give your brain a clear signal. It's time to switch from go mode to slow mode. I found that when I skip this step, my mind stays too alert, and even if I get into bed on time, it takes much longer to reach that deep sleep stage. Tip number 3 is all about light exposure, and this one is huge. Get plenty of natural light in the morning and limit bright light at night. Morning light helps reset your circadian rhythm so your body knows when to be awake and when to be tired. At night, dim the lights and, if you can, avoid screens at least 30 minutes before bed. The blue light from phones, tablets, and computers can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, which delays the release of melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. Tip number 4 is keeping your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. This is your sleep environment, and it should feel like a sanctuary. A temperature around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal for most people. Use blackout curtains if you live in an area with streetlights or early sunrise, and consider earplugs or a white noise machine if you're sensitive to sound. I can tell you, once I invested in blackout curtains and a small fan for white noise, my deep sleep improved noticeably. The 5th tip is to be mindful of what you eat and drink before bed. Heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol can all disrupt deep sleep. Try to finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime and avoid caffeine in the afternoon. While alcohol might make you feel sleepy at first, it actually interferes with your sleep cycles, so you're more likely to wake up in the middle of the night. Switching to water or herbal tea in the evening can make a huge difference. Tip number 6 is to stay active during the day, but avoid intense exercise right before bed. Your body needs movement to release energy and reduce tension, but working out too late, especially high-intensity training, can stimulate your nervous system and make it harder to get deep sleep. Personally, I like to take a light walk after dinner or do a few slow yoga stretches about an hour before bedtime. It helps relax my muscles and ease my mind. Tip number 7 is to try relaxation techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or journaling before bed. I used to think these things were only for spiritual people. But when I tried sitting quietly and breathing with the 4-7-8 method or writing down things I was grateful for during the day, I realized my mind stopped spinning with random thoughts. That quiet moment became the bridge that carried me into deeper sleep. Tip number 8 is to use scent and sound to support your sleep. A diffuser with a few drops of lavender essential oil, or background sounds like rain, ocean waves, or the steady hum of a fan, can create a safe and soothing atmosphere. I have a friend, Sam, who lives in a very noisy city, and he plays rain sounds through his speaker every night. He swears that's the reason he sleeps straight through until morning. Tip number 9 is to manage your naps. If you feel the need to take one, keep it to around 20 to 30 minutes and avoid napping late in the day. Sleeping too long or too close to bedtime can reduce your natural sleepiness at night, leading to lighter, more restless sleep. Finally, tip number 10 is to stay consistent and be patient. It sounds simple, but this is the deciding factor. Many people try a tip for a few days and then quit because they don't see immediate results. But sleep, especially deep sleep, is the result of repetition. Just like exercise, you can't expect your body to change after only a few sessions. I always remind people, pick a few tips that work best for you, make them part of your nightly routine, and your body will naturally adjust, rewarding you with deeper, more restful nights. When it comes to actually putting these tips into practice, the key is to make them work for your real life, instead of trying to build some perfect Instagram-worthy bedtime checklist that you'll give up on in a week. For example, with a consistent sleep schedule, you don't have to suddenly decide you're going to bed at exactly 10 o'clock every night for the rest of your life. That's not realistic. Just start by picking a general window, maybe between 10:30 and 11, and stick to it as best as you can. Your body will start to recognize that rhythm, and before long, you'll notice yourself naturally feeling sleepy when that time rolls around. The same thing goes for a bedtime routine. You don't have to do candlelit yoga or a full skincare routine unless you want to. It could be as simple as dimming the lights, making a cup of herbal tea, brushing your teeth, and reading a few pages of a book. The magic isn't in the exact steps, it's in doing them consistently, so your brain starts to link those actions with sleep. Think of it like your own personal playlist. Except instead of music, it's a series of small actions that tell your body it's time to wind down. Light exposure is another one you can slip into your day without making it complicated. The moment you wake up, step outside, even if it's just onto your porch with a cup of coffee. That natural light is like hitting the reset button on your body clock. I had a friend named Claire who worked from home and barely saw daylight during the week. She started drinking her morning coffee on the porch instead of at her desk, and within 2 weeks, she told me she was falling asleep faster and waking up before her alarm without even trying. Your sleep environment doesn't have to be a luxury hotel, but it should be a place you actually look forward to sleeping in. Keep it cool, keep it tidy, and cut out the distractions. If outside noise is a problem, try a white noise app or a fan. If light sneaks in through the windows, hang a thicker curtain or even just pin up a blanket until you can get blackout shades. With food and drink, pay attention to how your body reacts instead of following hard rules. Some people can have a glass of wine and be fine. Others will find it wrecks their sleep. Same with caffeine. Find your personal cutoff time and stick to it. Movement is easy to fit in if you stop thinking of it as exercise and just think of it as using your body. Walk the dog, work in the yard, take the stairs, clean your kitchen. The goal is to burn off enough energy that by the time you're in bed, your body is ready to rest. And for relaxation, you don't have to meditate for half an hour to get results. Sometimes 3 deep breaths are enough to shift your nervous system into a calmer state. If your mind is busy, try jotting down a quick list of what's on your mind so you're not lying in bed trying to remember it. Scents and sounds are deeply personal. Maybe lavender works for you, maybe it doesn't. Try chamomile, cedarwood, or sandalwood. Some people can't sleep without ocean waves. Others swear by the hum of a fan. Play around until you find what makes your body relax. If you nap, keep it short and earlier in the day so you don't mess with your night's sleep. And above all, give this process time. Deep, natural sleep isn't built in one night. It's the result of small choices repeated over and over until they become part of you. One day you'll realize you're not just sleeping more, you're sleeping better, and you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. The real magic happens when you stop treating these tips like separate tricks you pull out once in a while and start blending them into a steady rhythm that your body can count on every single day. That's when you shift from getting the occasional good night's sleep to actually living in a state where deep, restorative rest is the norm, not the exception. And here's the thing. This rhythm doesn't have to be complicated or overwhelming. It's more about intention than perfection. For me, it begins way before bedtime. In fact, it starts the moment I wake up. As soon as I'm up, I try to get natural light, even if it's just stepping onto the porch for a few minutes or opening the curtains wide while I make coffee. That morning light is like the conductor raising the baton for the orchestra of my body. It sets the tempo for the whole day. During the day, I make sure I'm moving. I'm not talking about punishing workouts unless that's your thing. Sometimes it's a walk after lunch. Sometimes it's taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Sometimes it's just standing up to stretch while I'm working. The goal is to give my body enough activity so that by nighttime I feel that healthy, physical tiredness that makes my bed feel irresistible. And I'm mindful of caffeine. Trust me, I love coffee just as much as the next person. But I learned the hard way that an afternoon latte can be the reason I'm lying in bed staring at the ceiling at midnight. So I cut myself off by late morning, and if I want something warm in the afternoon, I switch to herbal tea. My eating patterns matter too. I've noticed that heavy, greasy dinners make me feel sluggish but not sleepy, and they keep my body working on digestion instead of rest. So I aim for balanced evening meals and keep any late-night snacks light and sleep-friendly. Maybe a banana, a few almonds, or a small bowl of oatmeal if I'm really hungry. As evening approaches, I let everything start to slow down. About an hour before bed, I dim the lights. That one change alone is powerful because your brain is wired to respond to light cues. When the light is low, your body starts releasing melatonin, that natural sleep hormone. I put my phone away, or at least keep it out of my hands. because I know that if I start scrolling, my brain will get hooked on new information and stimulation, and I'll be wide awake. Instead, I move into my wind-down ritual. Some nights, that means making a cup of chamomile or lavender tea, letting the steam rise while I breathe it in slowly. Some nights, it's a warm shower that feels like washing the day off my skin. I might follow that with a few slow stretches, focusing on my neck, shoulders, and back, places where tension likes to hide. Then I set my bedroom up to feel like a sanctuary. I make sure it's cool, my blankets are just right, and there's either total silence or a sound that makes me feel safe. Rain, ocean waves, the steady hum of a fan. If my mind is busy, I grab my notebook and just unload everything onto the page. Things I need to do tomorrow, random thoughts, anything rattling around in my head. Once it's out of my mind and onto paper, it's like giving myself permission to let it go until morning. Over time, these steps have stopped feeling like a checklist and started feeling like the natural way I close out my day. And that's when you know it's working, when your body starts responding before you even get into bed. I've seen this transformation in so many people. My friend Laura, for example, used to be a total night owl, glued to her phone until she could barely keep her eyes open. She'd climb into bed exhausted, only to find herself wide awake. But when she started a routine, morning light, no caffeine after noon, dim lights at night, tea before bed, she said it felt forced at first, like she was making herself slow down when she didn't want to. But after a couple of weeks, something shifted. Her body began to expect it. She told me it was almost funny because she'd start yawning halfway through her tea without even realizing it. Then there's Kevin, who travels constantly for work. He used to think good sleep on the road was impossible because every hotel room felt different. But once he built his own portable version of this rhythm, things changed. He carries a small travel diffuser for lavender oil, keeps a playlist of ocean sounds on his phone, and does a short stretching routine no matter where he is. Now, whether he's in a noisy city hotel or a quiet suburban inn, he gets the same deep, restful sleep because his body recognizes the signals. And I'll never forget my cousin Megan, who has 2 kids and used to think uninterrupted sleep was just a dream. Obviously, with little ones, you can't control everything, but she decided to control what she could. She focused on keeping her own bedtime consistent, dimming lights after the kids went down, and doing a few minutes of deep breathing before bed. She told me that even though she still woke up sometimes for the kids, the quality of her sleep in between was so much better, and she felt more rested in the morning. The point is, when you weave these tips into a routine that works for your life, you're creating a kind of muscle memory for your sleep. Your body starts to recognize the cues and respond to them, and deep sleep stops being this elusive thing you have to chase. Instead, it becomes the natural result of how you live your day and how you close it out at night. It's not about perfection. There will be nights when you skip a step or life throws something unexpected at you. But if you keep coming back to the rhythm you've built, your body will find its way back to deep rest again and again. The thing about building a better sleep life is that it's not about chasing perfection. It's about creating a rhythm you can return to, no matter what's going on. You will have nights when something throws you off. Maybe you had a late dinner, maybe you got caught up in a conversation, maybe stress hit you harder than usual. And those nights will come even when you've been doing everything right. The difference now is you don't panic about it because you have a foundation. I used to have nights where I would stare at the clock, doing the math on how little sleep I'd get, and the more I thought about it, the more awake I felt. Now, if sleep isn't coming easily, I don't fight it. I get up, keep the lights low, maybe make a cup of herbal tea, do a little stretching or a few rounds of slow breathing, and then try again. That small shift in attitude keeps me from spiraling into anxiety about not sleeping, which honestly was half the battle. Consistency is your anchor. The more you stick with your natural sleep habits, the easier it is for your body to find its way back into deep rest after a rough night. Think of it like learning a skill. Once you've practiced enough, even if you take a break, you can pick it up again much faster than when you started. And just as important is being flexible. Life changes. Seasons change. Maybe your work hours shift. Maybe you move to a new place. Maybe your family schedule looks completely different a year from now. The goal isn't to protect some rigid set of rules. It's to keep the heart of your routine alive and adapt the details. If you know that dim lights, calming scents, and no screens before bed are your non-negotiables, you can stick to those anywhere, anytime, even if everything else changes. Over time, you'll notice that these habits stop feeling like things you have to do for sleep and start feeling like things you just naturally do because they make you feel good. And that's when the benefits spill over into every part of your life. You wake up feeling rested and your patience stretches further. You're sharper at work, more present with your family, and you actually enjoy your mornings instead of dragging yourself through them. Deep sleep stops being this mystery and starts being part of who you are. So if you've been listening to all this and thinking it sounds nice, but maybe it's out of reach for you, I want you to know it's not. Your body hasn't forgotten how to sleep. It still knows exactly what to do. It just needs the right cues, the right space, and the right mindset to get there. Start small. Pick 1 or 2 tips that feel doable, and stick with them until they become second nature. Then add another and another. Over time, you'll build your own rhythm, one that works for your life, not someone else's checklist. And when you do, you'll realize deep, restful sleep isn't a rare gift. It's something you can create for yourself, night after night. And you're going to wonder how you ever settled for anything less.